fuck am I doing? This is a surprising amount of people. According to YouTube, there's still nobody watching, but yeah, they're not famous for their accuracy in anything really. Lots of people here, not much stuff of value being said though. Of course, that's usually how the chat goes to begin with. Okay, so now it's up to 11 people. Still feels like there's more than that. Why you no sleep? Because I'm depressed and it kind of fucks with my sleep, and in turn, bad sleep makes you more depressed. And yeah, it's kind of a spiral. It's currently past 3 at night where I live. Trying to keep up with the chat. I only subscribe because of Monster School. Well, then you can leave because I'm done with that shit. You live in Sweden, right? Yes, I do. And if I remember you correctly, I'm pretty sure you do too. I remember someone with a tree. So I'm seeing at least 1 or 2 people that also can't sleep. Yeah. I think I had something to say about that, but now I don't. This is a terrible idea. Like, out of all the things I could be doing right now to mend the fact that I cannot sleep, I don't really know why I chose this. I guess it's just because I feel stressed out about not having uploaded anything in a while. I just want to keep uploading stuff, even if it's nothing at all. Well, nothing substance-wise. Oh, so you live in Germany, tree guy. Doesn't seem like a good place to live. What do you think about Germany? I tend to hear a lot of shit about Germany, especially censorship-wise. I'm very big on censorship. I hate that shit, and Germany seems to love it. Yeah. I really wish there was some way, like some little thing that told you how much delay there is between the chat and the video. So yeah, it would just be helpful. Do you have something in mind, or are you just going to talk for a while? I don't know what I have in mind. Not even like if I'm just gonna talk for a while. Like, I might stop this stream right here just as I'm gonna back out of just realizing that yeah, this was a bad idea. But yeah, I have so many things I could have been doing. I could be playing a game, could be watching more YouTube, but nah, stream. As I said, I probably just feel bad about not having uploaded in a while. I want to keep uploading stuff. I have a video in mind, but I haven't done it in forever, even though it would take like 1 to 3 hours to do, probably from recording to finish editing. I just never find the energy to do it. Rarely find the energy to even play games, let alone go outside. Connection seems pretty terrible right now. I'm not really sure what it might be about. Yeah, there are idiots pretty much everywhere. You're just gonna find like the country with the least idiots. I'm pretty sure. I've been looking at countries to move to because Sweden is not gonna. I don't want to stay here longer than necessary. So far, it looks like Poland seems to have their shit together, but I haven't looked too closely into that. New York has the most idiots ever. I can believe that. I would probably imagine that it would be more the South. The South doesn't seem very smart, but on the other hand, you got a new breed of American idiots popping up in the more northern part of the countries, above the Bible Belt. I'm highly attracted to your voice. Well, thank you. A bunch of people have said that. I guess that's just how it goes when you have a large enough audience. Some people are bound to like your voice. I've been playing with the idea of doing readings. Specifically of either, stuff I like, Lovecraft or stuff, or stuff I've written myself. Things that I don't really write that much because, depression makes me pretty ineffective at doing anything. Yeah. But if I write something, I'll probably just read it here as a shameless means of self-promotion. What food from a movie TV show have you ever wanted to try? You mean like some kind of fictional food? I know there must be something like that, but it's not coming to mind right now, and I'm really behind on the chat, so I'm gonna try to keep up here. I think Scandinavia is a nice region to live in. Yeah, Sweden is a pretty terrible place, but Norway seems pretty appealing, and Denmark, I think. Maybe Finland too. I know Norway has the shit together mostly. They talk funny though. I don't care what anyone says. Norway is a parody of Swedish, not the other way around, because their language sounds funnier. It's just like, it's objective, it sounds funnier. Swedish is a pretty funny language too, but not as much. Jag är så deprimerad. So. Someone up here said notice me senpai, and they got Andaria profile pic and Andaria name. I have noticed you now. Even giving you somewhat of a shout out, I guess. Yeah, Norwegian and Swedish is pretty similar. It's Danish that I don't really get. Like, Danish is still like similar, you can understand some of it, but it's like they all have something in their mouths that they're willing to swallow to be comprehended. Like, I can understand a Norwegian person but not a Danish person. And you got Finland, who just, like, Finnish is just an entirely different branch of languages. It's insane. Give me a shout out. No. If I give someone a shout out, it's because I'm a big fan of their content, and I can't be a fan of your content because I've never seen you before. I do intend to kind of like do a shout out video at some point of channels I've been following, but first I actually want to like have kind of a platform, which I don't have anymore. Of course, never actually had a platform. Like, I was a random faceless YouTuber who did videos that nobody. I don't know where that train of thought was going. If given the chance, what place would you visit, real or fake? Probably one of those fictional places where you are omnipotent ruler of it. Like, yeah, I can think of an example, but like a place where I can do literally anything. That would be nice. If I had to choose something less cheaty, then I don't know. Maybe Tamriel. That looks like a good place to live. No, never mind. They don't have internet or computers. Probably some sci-fi universe, like maybe the Star Trek universe. I don't know much about Star Trek. I just know that they got some pretty awesome stuff, like machines that can create any food you want, and they also have the nutritional values you want. You can just eat a big juicy hamburger, and it's like eating a salad. And they also got holodecks where you can basically do whatever you want, especially fuck people, and nobody minds. It's probably a bit flimsy of an answer. To try to read up on the chat again. Are you anime fan? I like to think of myself as a casual anime viewer. Like I have watched I've been trying to like keep track of how many animes I've watched, but I've lost count now. So I don't really know. But yeah, I have watched a bunch of animes and I like it in general, but there's also a lot of anime I don't like, which is how it is with anything really. A lot of the more mainstream anime, like, you know, shonen stuff with screaming and superpowers, like, I don't know, stuff like Dragon Ball Z is not appealing to me at all. I don't really... I'm just gonna abandon that train of thought. Okay, and read up on the chat again. Still don't get what anime means. Yeah, it's a pretty flimsy term. I like to, like, I can't really define it too. Some call it Japanese animation, but not all Japanese animation is anime. I mostly have it like, I just point at it and said that is anime, that is not anime, just based on the art style and some stuff like that. Some people say that The Last Airbender is anime. I disagree with that. I would say it's kind of a anime American animation hybrid. What is a new movie you would love to see? I don't really have a lot of movies I would love to see right now, especially new ones. There are a lot of movies I really want to see, but one of the biggest commitments I have currently with my depression is watching movies. That takes a lot of effort to actually commit to. I used to watch movies almost every day. Now it's like once a month maybe. I do want to see Wonder Woman because people say it's good, but I got kind of a superhero burnout, so I don't really wanna. I did try to watch it twice by non-conventional means that I don't know if you're allowed to talk about on YouTube, but it's not up yet for some reason. It is up, but there's only like one version of it that's really shitty, starts in the middle of the movie and whatever. Are you a dog, cat, or demon person? I'm a cat person. I don't really count demons as part of those. I wouldn't want to have a pet demon. Well, it depends. Like, demons is a very flimsy term. Could mean a lot of different things. Do you know any German? I know a few words of it, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to even have a simple conversation with a German person. What is your weapon of choice? Guns, swords, or magic? I'm a big magic person. When playing RPG, I almost exclusively pick magic, even if it's highly disadvantageous. Like, a lot of... One thing I always put a lot of effort into... No, never mind. One thing I always put a lot of emphasis on when judging a game is the magic system. If they're overpowered or underpowered or whatever. Usually I just, by default I'm always a mage in any game that allows you to be a mage. The only exception I can think of is Dark Souls, but that's mostly because mages are basically sheet. They're sheet characters. So there I prefer swords. Well, melee weapons in general. Really, if you're gonna play Dark Souls, don't play ranged. That's cheatsy. Now I missed a lot of the chat. It's unusually fast. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? I don't think I have technically played it, but I have a few friends and we're trying to set up a session, but we don't really, there's always someone who has to do something. Like, some people still are, I think one of them is still doing their final studies. No, wait, she's finished with her studies, but now there's another one who has something coming up. So, yeah. We have a campaign plan, but we haven't started yet. We have done some practice games though, so by that extent I have played Dungeons and Dragons. I'm looking forward to it though, it seems a lot of fun. I really like the whole malleability of it, like even like ignoring that you basically make up your own rules as you go on. There's even like within the defined rules there's a lot of space, which I really like. I would love a game that is like Dungeons and Dragons, but that would require technology that's more than what we have currently. Again, something as simple as a conjuration spell, like conjure any object that's 1 square feet, and you would just have to have a list of any fucking given object of that size in the game, which would take a lot. But I would love to see that. I've seen several Dungeons and Dragons games, but none of them satisfied me. I played Dark Souls. It's a good game in my opinion. It's my favorite game. I would say that. I finished it for, I think it was a few months ago I finished it, and it has already taken a place as my favorite game. I'm pretty sure. I have to put more thought into saying something that is my favorite, but it's probably my favorite. I love it. It's a great game. Anyone should play it, even if they don't like that kind of games. Are you a fan of the anime/manga Berserk? No, because I haven't read it, but I do intend to read the manga at some point, because it is... I know that Dark Souls is heavily inspired by it, and well, that's reason enough for me. And I just heard a lot of good stuff about it. As for the anime, I have no intention to watch it, because apparently it sucks. No, there's 2 animes. There's one new that sucks, and there's one old that I think is good. I'm not sure. But yeah, I do intend to read Berserk, and after that I'm probably going to be a fan of it. Let's see. Lots of anime stuff here. If you could bring any fictional character to life, who would it be? Again, my main focus is just personal gain, so I will probably bring like a genie or something, so I could get 3 wishes. If I would bring a fictional character to life with the purpose of like again, like trying to keep it confined to not personal gain, just someone I would like to hang out with, then I don't know, still tough. Requires a lot of thinking. My mind immediately jumps to Dark Souls. Priscilla would be nice. I want to pet her tail. I want to do that freaking Dark Souls meme. Geraim is also coming to mind. I'd like to have him as my bodyguard. That'd be fun. Demise is so fucking lucky to have that guy as his servant. Yeah. To be honest, I'm probably gonna make another fan art because I'm getting all hyped up in this stream. Oh, you were the person who made that semi-recent fan art? I think, I don't know. Yeah, I do remember receiving fan art somewhat recently, but like my time perception is fucked up, so it might not have been recently at all. If you like Dark Souls, you should play Bloodborne, which is also inspired by Berserk. Yeah, it's by From Software as well, so it's the same company. I might play it, but I'm not sure, because I don't really like the whole setting with guns and stuff, but maybe I will. I'm still focusing on the Dark Souls games first. I got 2 and 3 in the Steam sale that's going on currently. And I'm currently playing the second one. I'm like 3 hours in, and it has a reputation of being the worst one, especially since the key man Miyazaki didn't work on it. And I can see where they're coming from so far. It just doesn't have the right feel, and it feels off, but it still hasn't completely lost me. I can still win me over. I'm keeping an open mind. Okay, do you enjoy story writing? Oh, I fucking love it. I write stories, like text-based stories, in my spare time. As you might have noticed, I like doing stories on this channel. And yeah, I'm a storyteller person. There's one thing though, I'm not an animator, I'm a storyteller. So the whole thing with animation is a complete burden to me. I don't find it that fun. It's not an entire short. It's kind of fun, but if I could just magically skip the animation process, I would. I don't do it to animate. I do it to tell a story. I keep getting lost in Dark Souls. My memory is horrible and I can never remember where I was. Yeah, it's a interesting factor that it's seamless, like the world is seamless. I really like that though. It makes it feel a lot more alive. Although, like, I used a, I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I used a guide to find my way. I don't remember why I started, but then I just kind of kept doing it. I think it was like because at first I just had no idea where to go. Like I like that in hindsight, like how it just drops you off in the starting area and just doesn't even tell you it's the starting area. It doesn't look like a main hub. I would imagine it to be like a town or something, but no, it's just a place with a depressed guy. And then there are like 4 different directions you can go. 3 will lead to instant death, and the 4th will lead to almost instant death. Dark Souls is lovely. What is your favorite Legend of Zelda game? So far it's Skyward Sword, which is probably an unpopular choice. But I haven't played all of them though. I have played Ocarina of Time, but not all the way through. I'm at the, I'm not really sure which temple it is, like the one with the Bongo guy. I stopped at that one and I haven't played it for years now. And I'm a few minutes into Majora's Mask, and other than that I've only played Twilight Princess. I still want to play Breath of the Wild. I don't have the Switch though, and I'm reluctant to buy it. It's just like I like the concept of the game. I just don't like the concept as a Zelda game. It doesn't, like, from the reviews I've heard of it, it seems like a good game but a terrible Zelda game. Dark Souls literally doesn't tell you any story at all, and I always laugh at that. I would object to that. I would say that it tells you the story, but it's very vague. Like, most of the story is in the item descriptions. Like, you know, you kill a boss and then you get some items from it, and then you have to read the item descriptions to know what the boss was about. You can get a lot of stuff out of that, and then there's like some other subtle hints. It's a very theory-friendly game, which I like. I really like the story actually, especially the characters like Siegmeyer. I love him, he's great. And of course Sunbro, Solaire. What are you gonna start recording once you become more active on YouTube? I am thinking that I will probably do reviews of games and maybe movies and stuff like that. Like, yet another review channel, I know. And also just do rants about what I care about. Probably some political stuff, which I assume is gonna turn some people off. Yeah. Something I'm interested in doing. And I hope to do animations still, not Minecraft animations, but I just want to tell more stories. I got a lot of stories in my head that I want to get out on, not paper, but, you know, videos and paper and a bit of everything. Have you ever wanted to make a movie? Oh, many times. I still do. Movie is kind of not a priority for me anymore. I don't think I will be able to handle that kind of thing. I would like to write a book though, or make games. That's one of my career choices, making games. And I would like to make movie like YouTube videos, or just like movies but on my terms, not some kind of bullshit how movies usually go. I have several animated series in my mind which I would love to do someday, but I have my expectations set to dying without them being finished. Will you be recording any video game gameplay or let's plays? I'm gonna say that it's not the it's not something I intend to do, but I know that I've already done it despite saying I would never do that, so it might happen, but I don't plan for that to be a branch of content I'm doing. I do intend to, like, I'm still not sure if I should keep Lawrence even, but if I do, I'm thinking of maybe doing like a Lawrence Let's Play series, which would kind of parody all the aspects I hate about Let's Plays, because it's supposed to be an embodiment of everything I don't like. Okay, that's a bit harsh, that's not exactly what he is, but, you know. How old are you? I am 19, I think. Hold on, yeah, I'm 19. My perception of time is, as I said, terrible. Oh fuck, my water glass isn't here. Looks like the chat is pretty quiet now, so I'm gonna take the chance to go get some water, because my throat is getting dry. Okay, so yeah, not much has happened in the chat. Nice. I like your accent, just gonna randomly say that. I still don't really know what accent I have. I'm pretty sure I don't have the stereotypical Swedish accent, and I don't know what the non-stereotypical Swedish accent sounds like. I assume I have an accent though, or just a way of speech. I'm breathing a lot out of my nose, like, you know, semi-laughing. I do that when I'm tired. Have you watched the Terminator films? I have watched the first two, which I believe are the only worthwhile ones. I really liked the first one, I loved the second one. One of the best action movies I've ever seen. I would go as far as saying. I haven't watched, like, I have vague memories of watching at least parts of one of them, but I haven't watched any of the later ones. I know that in the latest, like in the newest one, the Genesis one, they apparently had another, what was his name? Was it T-9000? And, you know, the liquid guy, and they have another one of those, and I'm like, nah, don't do that. He was so good in the second movie, such a genuine threat. Don't just have one of the mini bad guys be one. What kind of music do you like to listen to? I'm mostly a metal kind of guy, but I'm somewhat diverse in my music taste. I like classical and a lot of genres I really can't specify. I'm better at listing bands and like performers I like than I am at listing genres. Which I guess you didn't specify genres in your question, so I guess I could list some. I think I did that before though. Do you still like Minecraft? I like past I don't like what Minecraft currently is, like both in terms of the current update and what the company is doing. For me, Minecraft died somewhere around 1.7. 1.8 I don't like some of it, but overall it's a good update. But yeah, like whether it's a coincidence or not, it went really downhill when Microsoft took over. I'm not blaming Microsoft, but yeah, totally. Yeah, Microsoft are terrible. They probably fucked it up real bad. One thing I noticed is that they are just adding so many mobs. That's a consistent pattern. Like, they add a lot of bad things, but they just add so many mobs that are so unnecessary. And the thing is that, like, I don't know why. It's because people want more mobs. That's one of the most requested features all the time. So they're just trying to do some crowd pleasing. But the thing is that they were so requested because they weren't added, and they weren't added because, well, mobs are a really big thing. A single one can really break the balance of the game. If you look at the original mobs, they are very well balanced. Each one has a purpose and a way of acting. Each monster has its own strategy, and each non-monster has a resource you need, and you know, it just works out. But then now you got like the polar bears. What are they? They are an alternate source of fish. And you got the I don't even know what the llamas are for. They're like horses, but not really. I don't know. There's horses. No, I mean there are llamas, and that's just really llamas. Like, if you were gonna add new mobs, then I would have wanted to see mobs that don't actually do anything, like the bat. Like, I don't know, frogs in swamps, that kind of thing. But no, they add these really wacky mobs, like the fucking illagers. I will never get over those. They are... what? That entire deal is such... it just screams mod. In fact, most of the stuff in the new updates, I just feel... I look at that and I'm like, that looks like a bad mod. And I know I'm not the only one. Anyway, I ranted on Minecraft long enough. Now let's see what I missed. Okay, I would just like to speak now that I would like to make it clear that if people ask if I'm gonna do more Monsters Cool, I'm just now gonna put them on timeout from now on, because no, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I intend to do one more episode for the sole purpose of just telling everyone that no, I'm not doing it again, but you're not gonna see it. How old are you again? I'm 19. I'm on the final year of my teenage years. I think I'm technically still not an adult, like in the views that I'm not taken as seriously as I would be if I was older. But then how old do you need to be before people disregard what you say because of your age? I'm not really sure if I got the sentence right. I'm gonna have to watch back to see if I got it right. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never gonna watch this again. I might not even upload this. I'm probably just gonna... no, I might keep it up. I might not remove it from the channel. You know, just to have something there. You sound old for your age. Do I? I don't know. It might be my tired voice that's doing it. And if not, then, well... I don't know. I don't really know when the voice is done, like, developing. I think it's somewhere during puberty, so technically I could have the voice of adult me already. Might be that. I don't know. I feel like I should be moderating the chat, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just letting a bunch of people saying random shit just be there. Oh, one of my friends make fun of me for how I can't drink water properly. Almost every time I do is a coffee. What made you quit? Depression. I've explained that on several occasions. I am depressed, and that's just what makes me unable to do much of anything, which sucks. And I'm still trying to ease myself into it right now, because it's getting better. Okay, I'm just gonna put this little... okay, put user in timeout. Did that do it? Okay, that's good. Trying to do some moderation now. Don't ask for shoutouts. If I'm gonna give you a shoutout, I will. But if you ask for one, that's not gonna have any effect on my decision to do it. What is one thing about modern games you hate? I don't think that's a too general question, because I think there are both good and bad games. Mostly in the indie market right now, I think there are good games. The indie market is my jam. So I think that what you mean is like something I hate about modern mainstream games, because that's generally like same with music. Like, oh, I hate modern music. No, you don't. You just don't. You just hate the stuff you hear all the time because it's like in the top list and shit. There's still music you like. It's just more obscure. So yeah, one thing about modern mainstream games I hate is that they are too easy. They spoon feed you too much, like both gameplay wise and story wise. Like for instance Skyrim. I still really like Skyrim, but like mostly for the mods really, and yeah. But it's becoming more and more like blatant to me. It just takes away more from my experience. The fact that all the characters are sucking your dick. Like, if for instance, for the Thieves Guild, this one that has it majorly. Like, the first quest you do is that you do a very simple mission where you steal a thing and put it in someone's pocket, and after that they'll like be like, oh, this guy, he's something special, he's gonna go far, and then it just continues like that. Like, oh, you're making us look good. Oh, you are so special. Like, it's a game where you're constantly being told how awesome and special you are when you don't do shit. And I hate that. I like being told that I'm awesome, but I want to earn it. That's why I really like a game like Dark Souls, because that game shits all over you. It just treats you like you're nothing. Like, oh, you're some kind of chosen one. There have been thousands of chosen ones. They're all dead. You're gonna be dead too. I'm here, fight this low-level wolf and get eaten to death. Are there any wolves in the game? Like, I know there's Sith, of course. There are dogs. Yeah, fight a low-level dog and die. So that's one thing that I really admire about Dark Souls, just how it makes you feel like you're nothing, how unglamorous your journey is. Like, I still think that's one of the part of the game where I really felt like, yeah, this is what the game is about. I was in the sewers, like the depths, where you're just wading through sewer water and rat shit, and yeah, that's basically your journey. That's what you do. There's no glamorous battles or anything. Well, there are, but they're, Dark Souls is a very unthankful game, and I love that. Because even though there's not a lot of people telling you that you're great, in fact I can't remember any event where that happens, you still feel great. You still feel great when you overcome the trials. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're awesome when you're not. You just feel awesome. Okay, I'm really not keeping up here. I find one question I like and then I talk about it too long and I miss everything. Have beaten Dark Souls, and do you intend to do the other Souls games? I do. I'm currently playing the second one. I really just want to get to the third one though, partly because the PvP is definitely going to be most active on that one. I've tried to play PvP in Dark Souls 1 and it was just dead, which is really sad. But also because that, to me, that's probably going to be the more faithful game, because that's, like, as I said previously in the stream, like Dark Souls 2 is regarded as not a real Dark Souls game because of it. It's quite different, and they didn't have like the key person in there. But for the third one, he returned, and it's supposed to be such a great game in comparison. So I'm just kind of trying to wade my way through the second one. So we're gonna see. Okay, I'm really behind now. Would you ever make an official Steam group for yourself and your fans? Most likely not. Steam is a private thing for me. I've made sure that I'm impossible to find. I'm pretty sure I've just set my account to private and all that stuff. And if I'm gonna play with anyone on Steam, it's personal friends. And hate to break it to you, but you're not my personal friends. You're people watching me. As like few of you might be my friends though, I don't know. No, they should be obviously. If any of them are here, they are naughty. I can't control anything in Dark Souls. I'm not used to it because it's the first game I have played as not a first-person shooter. Yeah, like the third person perspective threw me off a bit at first, but I got used to it after like the tutorial basically. I very quickly got used to it. But then I have played some Zelda too, and that's very similar. It even has the same lock-on mechanic, which is not exactly unique. I've played a few more games like that. I do prefer first person though. Although again, it's pretty hard because there's just pros and cons to both. Anyway, my favorite part of Dark Souls is the boss music and fights. Well, yeah, like the music in this game is amazing, and the bosses are too, for the most part. There are some terrible bosses, some of the worst bosses in gaming, I'd say, like fucking Four Kings and a bit of bullshit. But yeah, I think my favorite tunes are, like the favorite boss music is Ornstein and Smough and the Gaping Dragon and Pinwheel. Like for such a weak ass boss, he has a really cool theme song. I just love how the music really captures what the boss is about, like the Gaping Dragon. Like, what do you think about that one when you see it? You see, oh, that's a cute little alligator thing, and you see what it really is, and you're like, oh, holy shit, and that's what the music is. It just, the music sounds like it's just going, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And I really like that. It really captures the feel of the boss. Okay. My favorite part of this stream is looking at the black screen. It's not black, is it? I mean, it's black in tones of grey. I'm pretty sure I got an image up there. Yeah, I do. Unless I'm seeing something you don't. But yeah, what am I gonna do? Have my face on it? No, I'm not. Nor am I doing this whole thing with a gas mask on and you can't hear me. Dark Souls 2 is easier compared to 3. Yeah, I heard that it is. I heard that it's like easier overall, but also it's more unfair. Like, for how harsh Dark Souls 1 is, it's still in a way fair, but it doesn't have a lot of artificial difficulty. But apparently Dark Souls 2 has some stuff that you just cannot avoid. Usually there are traps that have vague hints so you know how to get up past them, but in Dark Souls 2 they better don't have that, but so far I haven't seen any of that. Again, I'm not very far into the game. Why do you sound gloomy most of the time? It's because of my depression. Keep having to mention that. I don't want to make my channel banner I am depressed, but I kind of feel like at this point it would help, but nah. That'd be a pretty lame move. Your people watching me makes us sound like stalkers. I guess by some standard, YouTube followers are technically stalkers that are being encouraged by the stalked person to stalk them. I don't know. Why do you have 600k subs and there are only 16 people watching? There are actually 22 watching, but yeah, it's because those 600,000 subs, they're all dead weight. Like, pretty sure most of them have either left YouTube and left their account in the dust, or they have just stopped watching me, or YouTube's algorithms are ignoring my videos. Basically, subscriber count doesn't really mean much anymore. I've seen a lot of YouTubers with tons and tons of subscribers but shit views. It's just how it goes. So, in actuality, I probably have more like 1,000 or 2,000 subs at best. And that kind of saddens me. I'm probably never gonna work my way up to what I used to have. But at least I will probably have a more honest content that's better, like instead of Monster School. I would rather have like a very small amount of subscribers that like the stuff that I really enjoy doing than something that I don't enjoy doing anymore. Do you make a lot of money from YouTube? I used to when I made Monster School, but now since I don't upload much of anything, and also because of the YouTube apocalypse, I make shit money from YouTube. More so than most people, for the understandable reason that I haven't uploaded anything of quality in, well, technically forever, but you know, by YouTube standard quality in years. Okay, to all the people saying that people are stealing Monster School, I know. I'm more aware of that than probably anyone else on the planet. I don't really care at this point. I do still care, but I'm kind of at that point where I don't actively care because I've cared enough, so I just kind of fade into the background. It's past 4 here now. It still doesn't feel late to me. I'm used to going to bed around 5 or 6, which is fucked up, of course. Ooh, right. I just remembered a question if there was any like fictional food I can eat, which would it be? Some question like that. I've thought enough about it now. I'm pretty sure it would either be a sweet cream treat from Skyrim or a sweet roll, because both of those look fucking delicious and I want to eat them real bad. Okay, so some guy have like said the same thing over and over now, so I guess I'll say, okay, so something about, yeah, Bloodborne and Resident Evil, like, no. I don't expect it to become an action shooter, it's more just the setting, I just don't like it. I don't like games with guns, I prefer games with swords and magic and shit. So, it's more just the overall aesthetic of it, I don't expect it to turn into a shooter. It's still a From Software game. Pretty weird to me that we always average at like between 20 and 30 people, regardless of what time I'm doing this. Do you do anything other than YouTube? Well, I eat, I sleep, I breathe. Well, I do have a bunch of hobbies outside of YouTube, like writing and making games, playing games, watching movies and series and stuff, like pretty much anything fictional related. I don't like the real world. The only reason I care about it is because it impacts fiction. Do you like Mario? Yeah, I do. The first console game I ever owned was Super Mario World. Still really love that game. And I got some other Mario games too, like when in my childhood I was obsessed with Mario. Now I'm more of a, yeah, I haven't played a Mario game in a long time now, but I still really got nothing against them at all. I still think they're fun. Do you have a job? Nope. Unless you count YouTube as a job, but if so, it's a job I'm really slacking off on. Other than that, I don't have a job, nor do I have the qualifications to have really any job at all. Because I had to drop out of high school because of my depression. And that's because it was a shitty school and I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just so fucking terrible. I basically wanted to burn the whole thing down with people inside it because I hated the people too. Of course, it was more of an emotional reaction. I actually do have like a strict killing people is wrong policy, even though I might come off as an edgelord at times. I did want to punch my teacher in the face a few times. I was damn close to doing so. I eat ass. Good for you. I'm not really into any kind of anal stuff. Poop comes out of it. Poop comes out of the butt. I think that's gonna be the title of the stream. Poop comes out of the butt. Nah. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it like this. Maybe. It's a catchier title though. Do you like coffee? No. But I wouldn't say I've actively tried to like see if I liked it. The last time I tried it was years ago. I don't really feel a reason to do it. Like I don't like coffee as far as I know. I don't like tea as far as I know. Though I try to like tea. I think tea would be a good thing to like. And I don't like alcohol, even though I am of age to drink it. I have my Coke. I have my soda in general. Soda is good. This might be personal, but what caused your depression? I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there were several factors. One of them just being the stress of my channel. Not that what I was doing was currently stressful, but more the fact that like I was coming to a point where I was getting really, really displeased with my content. Like partly the quality of it, but also just what it was. I didn't want to be doing Minecraft animations. I didn't want to be doing Monster Squad. I wanted to be doing all these other things, and well, eventually the pressure of trying to just completely redo my channel into something else, and just kind of the worry about what that would imply, what that would bring about, it just kind of collapsed upon me. I just put too much pressure on myself. What is your favorite tea? I still don't really like tea yet, but I guess I would say honey tea. I'm kind of training up my tea liking with honey water and some kind of stuff like that, because I do like honey water. Honey in general is awesome. I had an idea at one point for a webcomic with Willcraft where he has just like hoarded a shitload of honey because it doesn't spoil, which makes it perfect for the apocalypse. But at the same time, it's also just because it's a fucking sweet tooth. I'm a sweet tooth. I like stuff. I really like unhealthy shit in general, be it soda or snacks or candy. And still, I'm an underweight bastard. I like it though. I have good genes. At least for now. Apparently, there's a chance that like once I'm old enough, then I'm gonna have a harder time staying skinny, which I'm not looking forward to because I like being skinny. I like being a gangly fellow. I wonder how long I should be doing this. I guess I'm just gonna do this until I'm tired. Like, sleep tired, not mentally or physically tired, which I already am. I think. I'm not really sure when I'm physically tired because I always feel like, even as soon as I wake up, I just feel physically exhausted, which usually causes me to just sleep way too long. And still feel tired because I go to sleep so long. For some reason I feel you're dead. I don't really know why though, because you're talking to me. That's a trait that it's usually not attributed to dead people. Play Dark Souls. I mean like a kind of a stream thing? Nah. He's dead on the inside. Nah, I wouldn't say that either. I would say I'm rather beating the shit out of myself on the inside. I think that would be a more accurate description. Ooh, I just remembered, since something really interesting going on in the chat, I just remembered a question from earlier, who my favorite YouTuber is, and that's a pretty hard question. I guess my current answer would, yeah, I don't know, I have issues with both of my potential, like those who used to be slash might still be my favorite YouTubers, but I'm just gonna go with those. Like, I have my issues with them, but I think my two favorites are currently the Nostalgia Critic and the Amazing Atheist. No, that's not what he's called anymore. He's rebranded. He is now called actually TJ Kirk. I like Nostalgia Critic obviously because of his like review stuff, but he seems to be sipping on the Kool-Aid a bit. I don't like that. That's uncomfortable for me. Like, as soon as he started to talk about feminism in his videos completely unrelated to it, it just doesn't really feel right. And then on the other side, end of the spectrum, you got a guy who is very vocal about his opinions and shit. And I just like that. I like uprightness. I like honesty. That's one of my most valuable qualities, and that's why I subscribed to him in the first place, because he seemed very honest. He seemed like he didn't give a shit about anything, not what anyone thought. Although he has also like openly declared himself a total sellout. Play Bendy. I have actually. I was considering streaming myself randomly while doing it, but then I thought that nah. I usually don't want to stream or really share a gaming experience with anyone the first time I'm playing it, then I just want to do it on my own. And well, as far as indie horror game hype games go, it's decent. It's not Slender or FNAF or one of those games, so I don't know. Do you live by yourselves or live with your parents or GF? I live with my parents and my little brother. I am technically legally able to move out of my house, but it's not really beneficial for me to do so. First of all, because I don't really have, I can't get a job, and YouTube isn't bringing in enough money. And also just the situation with housing in Sweden is god awful. Like, one of the primary components of our economy is debt slaves, like people who have taken such big loans to buy housing that they are never going to be able to pay them back. That's just disgusting. I want to move out of this country and live somewhere else. That's when I want to move out of here, which means that I'm probably going to live with my parents for another few years, which is not nice because I fucking hate them. If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Depends on what the extent of those wishes would be. I mean, the first one would obviously be something like omnipotence, and then I could just grant my own wishes, but pretty sure that wouldn't work. Usually there are like some rules what you can't wish for, like, you know, more wishes obviously. So it would depend on the restrictions on that. I would just like want to wish for things that would give me as much power as possible to grant the wishes of my own. Probably something involving being like able to produce games and YouTube videos and stuff like that really super fast. So I could just produce an entire season of an animated TV show in like a week or something. That's at least one thing I would wish for, just being super good at the things I want to be good at. I'm getting some repeats of questions I already answered. I don't like doing that, it makes the stream repetitive. So I guess I'll just answer them in a shorter way. What is your favorite video game? Probably Dark Souls. Dark Souls is great. It's one of those games that like it's a game that's famous for like helping people with their depression, and I would say it helped me with mine, but as you can tell, it didn't actually cure it. I still thought it was a very, very good game. Very thought-provoking and good. Do you watch The Walking Dead? I don't, but I did read the books up until a certain point because my brother owned them, and I just kind of read them on the side at one point. And they were good. I remember not liking them that much, especially because I don't know what my complaint was. Really, I don't remember much of them really. I just remember people dying, which is kind of an obvious component of that series. I think it was kind of like made me lose interest was that the final book he bought before I stopped reading them was one where literally all the main characters died except for like a very small amount, including some of my favorites. and like it just felt like a light version of and then everyone died. And it just felt like nah. That and the fact that there weren't any more to read at the time, it just made me feel like I'm gonna stop here. Your animation were what started them all. You should be proud, right? Do you mean like started the Monster School clones? Because I'm not proud of that at all. I don't like the idea that I created a YouTube trend that I myself hate. Ugh. Especially since I'm not making money out of it. Like, I would be not proud, but at least happy about it if like all the Monster School clones had to like give me all of the profits, because then I would be so fucking rich. I don't even get that, so I'm just really pissed off about that situation. If you like writing stories, do you think you could be an author? Because I think you could be an awesome author. I think so too. I'm gonna be humble about that. I think I'm a very good at stories. As when like I'm trying to, like I used to be really hard on myself and just always try to be humble, but that's not good for the psyche. You can't constantly bash yourself. I'm trying to find a healthy balance, but the healthy balance means that I still am very self-critical, but I still think I'm more awesome than most people. Which yeah, I'm trying to like get. I'm trying to put some stories out to, like I've been working on a book for years now. Right now it's kind of in development hell, and I also have a short story in the works based in the same universe, which I intend to do a reading of on this channel. Also kind of you know, have some kind of to upload and get some public feedback on my stuff. Would you rather save the world from hunger or cure cancer? I don't know if I want to do either, really. There's already so many people around. Really, I would want to cure things that don't necessarily cause death, but just cause stupidity, really. Because that's what I think is real. Like, I think problems about both people dying and there being too many people could be solved if people weren't so fucking retarded. That's not to say I think I'm super smart. I think I consider myself to be of my average standard. Like by my standards, I'm of average intelligence, but I also consider myself to be way smarter than most people. I am pretty smug, I guess. If you publish a book, I will 100% buy it and force other people to buy it. I thank you for that. Then I at least have one. I'll at least sell one copy. Yeah. It's a book. It's like it's an RPG book. No, not that. That's the wrong term. That's a gaming term. Fuck you, brain. It's a fantasy book about like what was I saying? Yeah, it's a fantasy book about the world with where there are demons and angels that live in their respective worlds. Like there's the normal world, the underworld, and heaven. Not a very unique concept, but what makes it unique is that the main character of the story, well, it's not unique, but like unusual, is that the main character of the story is the villain. Like he's a demon, and he is not some kind of anti-hero, like he's a literal villain. He kills innocents and thinks it's fun, but he's still not like I spent a lot of time trying to develop him. So he's not like, not like his only character trait that is a villain. I put a lot of work into like world building, probably more than I've actually put in writing the story. But yeah, the basic plot is that there's a special chosen one who can, if she falls into the hands of the demons, they will take over the world. And then instead of the story being from her perspective, it's from the demon's perspective and his like quest trying to capture her. And the short story is in the same universe, which is about a I don't really know how much I want to say, but yeah, it's about a human who obtains some demon magic, because it's kind of a alternate timeline kind of universe, where it's like the real world only if there would have been demons and angels around for all time. So it's kind of, I guess, a fantasy world in modern times, at which point there are religions that are based around the demons and the divines, but most people don't believe in them because they tend to hide. Well, the demons don't hide, they don't give a fuck, but the divines want to hide the knowledge of both worlds, so they just kind of try to make sure the demons stay hidden by killing them. You know. Yeah, I think the primary thing in my existence is nuance. So I would like to kind of do a more nuanced story where it's not like portraying the evil guy as a good guy, but more like portraying the evil guy as an alternate side of things. Like it's kind of a gray area. Because I do intend to like have a motivation, like why do the demons want to take over the world, and why do the divines not want that, and you know, stuff like that. I might go more in depth with that when I'm not a tired rambler. Okay, so I saw one question here. Do you watch terrible writing advice? Yeah, I do. I started watching him semi-recently. I see his channel is apparently on the rise now, which is nice. Like his videos, like I feel like they could be funnier. Like they feel like they're basically just, hey, I'm gonna say the opposite of what I mean, but he still points out some things that I think is good to hear, and some things that not even I think of sometimes. But most of the times I just kind of watch them to like reassure myself of my writing ability. What would the title of the book be? I don't know. That's probably like the primary thing. Like I still don't know what the hell the title would be. First of all, like I would intend for it to be the first book in a series. It would have to have kind of a title and a subtitle. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm thinking maybe the subtitle would be Chaos Touched, because that's what the like chosen one is. She is Chaos Touched, which means that the god of chaos has poked around with her, giving her special powers. The god of chaos in the book is essentially like the god of pot convenience. Like he can do everything that nobody else can, but he also is completely unreasonable, so he's just kind of a force of randomness. I see a lot of like chaos magic stuff in fantasy, but too often it's more like it's not really chaotic enough. So I intend to like have I want to have like a chaos god who's really, really all about chaos. Like more of an eldritch entity than anything, you know. What do you think is your best video? I'm not really sure. I would probably say that it's either... Like, I wouldn't want to say not one of my Minecraft animations, but the other things I've tried is also, like, kind of shit. But, I guess I would say either the latest Inventors episode or the Miner's Bane. I like that one because it's, like, kind of my strength with the whole silent storytelling thing that Mod School also has. I also own as it's done better. And it's also horror. I like doing horror. I hope this book has some humor as well. Always need one random joke for no reason. Yeah, I intend to have it like have some dialogue based humor, because one of my biggest strengths in writing is dialogue and like characters. I'm not really good at the overall story, but I have been getting positive feedback from a lot of people, including not my family, because I don't even show it myself because it biased as fuck. But yeah, I have been getting a lot of good feedback on just like my ability to have like dialogue and like character interactions and stuff like that. The main character in the book has a pretty like cynical sense of humor. Like it is supposed to be a pretty dark story, but then it also has dark humor. I mean, to give a bit of context, it has a fallen angel who's a drunk. He's one of the main characters. He's the advisor, the demon guy. I'm probably telling way too much, but I'm too tired to care. What is the meaning of life according to you? I believe that life has no meaning whatsoever, but that only means that you can give it meaning, which I think is good. If life had a predetermined meaning, I would be pretty terrified. It's the same with destiny. I hate the concept of destiny because it means that my choice means nothing. I like being in control of myself. Yeah, I believe that life is just kind of a byproduct of what reality is, and we are on the receiving end of that, for the better or worse. You gotta tell me when you publish it. Oh yeah, I will definitely shout it out on my channel. I'm gonna shill the shit out of it on my channel. Probably gonna be one of those things like I see some YouTubers doing with it at the end of every video. I'm just gonna have a little quick shill of it, like, hey, by the way, I still have my book. But yeah, I actually finished it a few years ago, but then I decided that, you know what, it's all garbage. So I basically scrapped it all, so I'm gonna have to rewrite it all from scratch, basically. Which is for the better, because it really was pretty bad. But chances are that just means that it's gonna be like in development until I die. Are you a religious person? No, I am an atheist. I'm actually pretty aggressive atheist. Like I have a hostility towards religion, which it probably will demonstrate more on my channel in the future. It's probably gonna rub some people in the wrong way again. I just like, I don't know. I think I was gonna say something more, but yeah. Would you rather cure stupidity for everyone or stop anxiety for everyone? That's an easy one. That's definitely stupidity. Because if you take away anxiety, then you don't take away the problems that cause anxiety. You just make people not care about them. It's the equivalent of like having someone hold their hand on a like burning plate, whatever they're called, like on an oven thing. Like, and then you choose to either take away their hand or take away their pain. You take away their hand. Because I believe that when you, if you were to cure all stupidity, then there will be less reason for anxiety. Like at first, there would definitely be more reason for anxiety, because not being stupid means also being aware of how fucked things are. Stupidity is in a sense bliss, but it's a false sense of bliss, I believe. So I think that if everyone were smart, then we could probably work out the reasons for people's anxiety, and in the end everyone would be happy. What country do you live in? I live in Sweden. I also live in Sweden. We're in this shithole together. I'm gonna get some more water. One of the few perks with Sweden is, well, one of the perks with Sweden that's not one of the many not perks is that we have really good water. I tried the water in the US when I was there, and I don't know. There's a reason that the freaking beer and soda and shit is cheaper there. Okay, back. WTF is this? I'm pretty sure the title and the description kind of sums it up. It's something that happens on every stream I do, and like other people's streams that I've seen. Like people just pop in and just seem freaked out about what's going on, even though the title should have given it away. The US is just full of capitalists who don't pay attention to anything other than themselves, and I fucking know. And they have bad food. I would say it's a little more, uh, a little more diverse than that. I would say it's not just full of capitalists and shit. I would say it's a nice mix of different kinds of bad people. And also some good thrown in the mix. But yeah, I have yet to see like a like prevalent group of American people who are not retards. That isn't to say there aren't non-retarded Americans, of course, and it just I have just yet to see a like prevalent group. Like if you divide yourself into tribes, like I don't know, conservatives or libertarians or whatever you want to say, they always seem to be completely retarded. I just feel ashamed to call myself an American, especially now. I don't think you should. I think that like feeling ashamed because of stuff that other people do, because you consider yourself part of their like collective group, is not a nice thing to do. You haven't done anything. You just think of them as separate people. It's like dividing yourself into groups like countries and ideologies doesn't really. I don't like tribalism. I'm not really ashamed of being a Swede. I'm just mad at other Swedes, specifically the ones that are doing stupid shit. A lot of people are, of course, also mad at them for doing stupid shit, but not much is changing. I actually read a news story today that happened in Sweden. Somebody apparently stole a sheep and fucked it. Like, we usually have at least one rape story in the news per day, but it's usually not a sheep. But that's now we can finally declare the people who are doing that kind of shit sheep fuckers, which is nice because sheep fucker is a funny word. I still feel horrible about the sheep because they had to put it down because it was traumatized and also had butt injuries. That went dark. Let's talk about something else. Why the fuck would anyone rape a sheep? I actually have a few theories that I actually came up with while reading it. And once that I've seen several news stories about immigrants who come here complaining that they don't have a girlfriend because they just expected that, ooh, I'm in Sweden where I'm gonna get a villa and a car and a girlfriend within the first few months. And then they get an apartment and not a girlfriend, and then they get pissed, even though that apartment is pretty fucking good by Swedish standards. So I think that might be it. Like, people who are displeased that they can't get a girlfriend, so they just rape a sheep. Of course, that would make more sense to rape a person then, but maybe they were hoping that they would easier get away with raping a sheep. Yeah, lots of crazy shit happening in Sweden. Especially with feminism. Like, feminism is retarded, but Sweden especially, like, it's just insane. Like, I saw one thing where they had a demonstration in the form of running around like the town square in Stockholm, acting like horses, like neighing and galloping and shit, as a protest of the statues of men on horseback in the town square. I don't know, it kind of just looks like a protest where you make yourself look like fucking retards. And they also had a fat pride campaign where there were fat girls giving out free cupcakes. I don't know. That's just ugh. Meanwhile, we got a fucking actual rape culture in Sweden now, and That's apparently not a thing to focus on. Nah, the real problem is that we don't like obese people, and there are horse statues. Statues of horse. That fucking pun never gets old. Let's see if I missed any question when I was talking about sheep fucking and feminism. Did they arrest the sheep raper? Yeah, they arrested him, but then he went free because I don't remember what it was. It was some really bullshit reason, as always. I think it was like that he didn't have like they couldn't localize where he lived, so they had to drop him on that basis and set him free. Like, I don't know. It's like that's basically how it goes in Sweden. Someone does a horrible crime, they get a minimum sentence or none for some dumb reason. A classic is that they proclaim that they are children. Like, oh no, I'm under 18, but you look like a 40-year-old man. No, I'm under 18, and it works. Which is, it's fucking retarded. I just want to get out of here. Would you travel the world if you could? Nah, I probably wouldn't. I'm not much of a traveler. I would rather like find a place that's not here that I like and travel there and stay there. Although I have yet to find a country that I like, it's more like finding the one I dislike the least. I want my own country. I actually want my own planet, but that's not very realistic. Hi, I'm new. What is your channel about? It used to be about Minecraft animations, and then I tried some other things, and then I got depressed, and now I just do whatever as a means of fighting my depression, like to kind of ease into things. So right now it's just a Scatterbrain channel, that's basically it. I find it weird that you're new though when you're here. I would think that, I don't know, it's weird to me that I still get new viewers and that they watch these things and not just my pre-uploaded videos that are actually popular, or used to be at least. Do you believe in the afterlife? The afterlife? I'm pretty sure there's no one afterlife, it's more an afterlife. But, no, I don't believe in one, but I don't believe that it's impossible for one to exist. It's more like, it's one of those things that we're only gonna find out when we die, if we can find out. I think, I'm in a state where I hope there is a form of afterlife that I like, you know, the afterlife I have in mind is one where you are basically become the omnipotent being of your own universe, because that's my biggest dream. So I'm hoping for that to be the case. But yeah, the most likely outcome is that our consciousness just ceases to be. We just enter a state like before we were born. Do you like art? Well, I obviously do. Everything I like basically revolves around it, be it movies or games or, well, to an extent, books and TV shows. Just anything fiction, really. And drawings to some extent, and comics and stuff. Why did you stop animating? Depression. I am depressed. I have several videos detailing it. At least one. And it's one on my May page. Do you believe in ghosts or aliens? I don't believe in ghosts. There is no evidence of those that's credible in the least, but I do believe in aliens because it's just unfathomable to me that this universe is so infinitely huge and we are the only sentient species here. Like, I guess it's not literally impossible, but I think you can just accept the premise that there are aliens. Maybe not even spacefaring ones, but there's definitely life on the planets. Probably civilized life too. Probably also some spacefaring life, but they either ignore us, don't know about us, or they just aren't advanced enough to actually travel to us. But I believe in aliens. I think that if you don't, then you probably just don't comprehend just how massive the universe is. lot of people are asking me for my favorite food in every single stream. I don't really know what my favorite food is. I just like lots of food. No, not lots of food. Actually a pretty picky eater. I guess I'm just gonna go by something boring and say pizza. Pizza is good. I think the people who are depressed like fantasy more because it's better than the real world to them. Well, I was always big on fantasy and stuff even prior to having a depression. But I can see a lot of depressed people finding like reality escape to be very appealing. And sometimes it can also help them cope and stuff. Are you interested in history? Depends what history. I have a passing interest in some forms of history. I used to be really, really big on Egyptian culture, like the Asian stuff with the pyramids and the crazy gods and stuff. And I also have a bit of interest in the Vikings and whatever, but I'm not really a history geek by any means. It's like staring into a future mirror. My favorite food is pizza and I live in Sweden and I'm an atheist. I don't really think that's much of a mirror image thing. I mean, Sweden is a pretty secular country still, and pizza is a pretty popular favorite food. So yeah. Hey, well, you doing okay? Nah, not doing that great because I should be sleeping. I should have been sleeping for like, 5 hours maybe. But I'm doing this instead. Would you ever be an actor? I don't think so. I'm not really much of an acting person. I could see myself like doing voice acting work or acting work if I couldn't find anyone better for the role, like if I'm doing something on my own. But I don't see myself pursuing a career in acting. Do you think other religions are just fake? Other religions? I think it's just religions in general, and yeah, I would say that they are all false. Either false or unfalsifiable, which means that they're basically, you can just declare them as false. There might be some religion that is like credible because it's kind of grounded in reality, but if so, I don't know about it. And if you have kind of a religion centered around the worship of beavers, then yeah, well, beavers exist. It's a dumb thing that you would worship them, but you do you. That at least sounds like a pretty harmless religion. That should be the dominant religion in the world, beaver worship. Do you play board games? I generally don't, not really. I prefer the digital form. Although I do have a D&D campaign I could try to get started with my friends, which I guess counts even though we are doing it electronically. So yeah, we're playing a board game on the internet. Well, intend to. We still gotta like make sure it works for everyone, which is hard because everyone usually has something they gotta get done, except me. I'm almost always available because I have literally nothing I'm doing. If you could ever voice act the character, what character would it be? Do you mean like in a something that's already happened? It's I don't. I'm gonna wait till it comes and answer some other ones. Did you know there is a religion where they worship a giant flying spaghetti monster? Yeah, I know, but that's a parody religion. Like it's a religion invented by atheists as a kind of to make fun of religious people. It's kind of like I don't really know what it's called. The Kekistani deal, where you worship Kek. It's a meme kind of thing. So yeah, people aren't genuinely worshipping the flying spaghetti monster. Maybe some people are. Like some people are just gullible and don't understand it's a joke. Have you ever thought of being a president or working for the government? I have guess I've thought of it, but currently the idea is not appealing to me. I wouldn't want that sort of responsibility, especially because, well, you don't really have as much power as you would think, especially in most countries. Like, usually you're just kind of forced to do stuff you don't wanna. Like, you know, power corrupts is what they say, and you don't do it entirely on your own. I would like to have a position where I can, like, where I'm just a guy who the government kind of checks in with, like, hey, this is going on, you for some reason have this political influence, what do you think about that? And then I just give my opinion and it just weighs really heavily. So I would like to be able to influence politics, but I wouldn't want an actual, like, I wouldn't want to actually be the leader of a nation or anything. What is your favorite meme? I don't know. I guess the meme I'm using the most is that Samurai Jack meme. Extra thick. It's just a thing I do with my friends for some reason. They haven't even watched Samurai Jack. They just see me quote it. Do you know what Digimon is? And in that case, what do you think about it? Yeah, I used to watch Digimon when I was younger because it was on TV back then. Now I haven't seen it airing in many years, and I didn't watch it that often because it was on at a time where I couldn't watch it. I only watched it very rarely, so I never kept up with the story. So I guess I liked it on the basis that I liked everything as a kid, but I don't really remember if it was good or bad. I do remember it was basically like the cool kids version of Pokemon. Like, if you were a wuss, you watched Pokemon. If you were tough, then it was Digimon because it was darker and more violent and shit. I still remember the theme song. The theme song was awesome. I kind of want to, like, get back into it, but there are so many things I'm already having a list of things to watch. Have you played Minecraft Story Mode? No, but I watched a silent playthrough of it that made almost all the choices I would have made. So I would say that I have not played it but experienced it in much the same way that you haven't read a book that you haven't read an audiobook. You experienced that book, and I thought it was horrible. I still want to do a review of it, telling why I find it horrible, but. Yeah, that's another thing I really hate about my depression. All the things I want to do, I can't do them for so long, it's just become irrelevant. Like, maybe Minecraft Story Mode would have been a good review topic for, like, you know, last year, but now who really cares? I do. That's the answer. So I got a feeling that when I get back to stuff, I will probably just, like, I'll probably just do videos that nobody cares about but me. I still have an Undertale review in the works. Well, not in the works, but, like, planned. Because I had some thoughts on Undertale that I don't think anyone has actually said yet. I didn't think I would be able to say anything about Undertale that has been said 1,000 times, but I, like, googled some of my key thoughts about it, and either nothing at all or just very few things came up. I have some criticisms of it that I don't hear, like, anywhere else. So I guess that would be nice to get out there. Now that nobody cares about Undertale and would watch that. Philosopher streamer, I like that. Excellent idea. Don't really know if I'm much of a philosopher, but I'll take it as a compliment and run with it. I really should go to bed. Do you have any social media? Not besides YouTube. I've always, like, actively avoided social media, and I just keep finding more reasons to do so now that stuff like Facebook and Twitter are getting political. Well, YouTube also is, but, you know, I'm already on YouTube, so what the fuck can you do? Just, you're a fucking video sharing platform, / you're a freaking, like, Twitter kind of thing. Like, you shouldn't be involved in politics. You should let people have a platform and let people decide what they want to watch. That's the end of it. if people want to make Nazi propaganda and people want to watch Nazi propaganda, then fine, let them watch it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna make people not Nazis by censoring them. You should do this more times, I guess. I think I would prefer just doing like videos in a similar vein that are more thought out than just a stream where I talk about stuff. Especially looking at the view count, like I made a video about my thoughts on the future of robotics, and that one got a lot more views than the streams have been doing. At least I think so. I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, I think that just like it's appealing to me and to the people watching that just a more concise, like, this is what I'm gonna talk about, this is how I talk about it, and then I can just edit it afterwards. I can't edit this, I think, unless YouTube has some built-in thing, but I'm not gonna use it anyway. Okay, can people just stop talking about Adventures and Monster School? I'm not gonna continue Monster School, and Adventures I'm still not sure about. But I'm not gonna finish that until my depression is gone, which is gonna take a while. Do you think in the future we will be cyborgs? Well, I did a video on that, pretty long video. But yeah, if you watch that and you're still not sure, then well, I think that either we are, or we're just gonna, like, I think it's an almost inevitable step in our evolution, so either we do that or we die. That was basically what the video ended up in. Well, it was more like either we become robots or we die, but like cyborgs is probably an important step in that. Probably gonna partially become machines before we fully become machines. Do you do any kind of sports or martial arts? I don't. I used to though. I used to be into fencing for like one term until I decided that was like not the kind of fencing I was hoping for. It was like with rapiers and shit, and I wanted the straight swords and that kind of stuff, like with actual blades. So I just kind of pushed through that and hated it. It was so lame. And I have also done a martial arts, but again that was really lame, way more than I thought it would be. I did that for way longer though, until eventually I decided that yeah, this is bullshit. I don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure most of your subscribers are just kids who are here for the Minecraft animations, hence why so it's affected that for. Oh yeah, obviously. That's another reason I really want to get back to my channel and just kind of redo it altogether, kind of do different content, because that's the only way it's gonna change. Otherwise it's just gonna be people lingering here who are fans of my old content and expect me to come back and do more of that old content. However, if I do the stuff I actually want to do, then that's probably going to attract people I want to have here, and the people who want Monster School and stuff, they're just going to leave because I don't do it anymore. Which is how I think is best for everyone. I think our future actually lies in genetic modification and not in cyborgs, as I would assume editing DNA would be less resourceful than building a full robot body. I think you mean a resource, like taking, something like that, because resourceful doesn't really mean that. Which I can see that too, but the advantage I see with robots is that, well, I see, what was I saying? Come on, brain. I think that would be a viable option, but I think that robots would, like, I think there are limits to biology that I don't think there are to technology. So I think that once we are like the perfect organism, we still aren't as perfect as the perfect machine. That's where I think it's gonna go. I think it's first gonna be genetic. First we're gonna improve our genetics, then we're gonna improve ourselves with machines, and then we're just gonna be machines. But there's definitely gonna be some genetic stuff in between, probably, which I also look forward to. Would you do more Spore live streams? I don't think so. I think I'm pretty done with that stuff. I think 2 was enough. I don't think there's a lot more I can get out of Spore. It wasn't very streaming friendly, not as much as I thought it would be. by borrowing genetics from animals and just editing around, we can already theoretically become fully immortal. I don't really know if the answer lies so much in borrowing genetics from other animals, but maybe partly. I mean, there are some animals that are near immortal, like some kind of flatworms. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that we would just kind of like edit it without maybe taking inspiration from animal DNA, but we probably wouldn't like do some kind of hybrid shift where we kind of like become animal people. I don't know. I don't think that was what you were hinting at anyway. But yeah, I don't think we can. If by already you mean like we could do it now, then no, I don't think so. We would need more study on that topic anyway. I did fan art while you were still streaming. I feel accomplished. That is pretty good. The hat is really wide though, but yeah, otherwise I mean, either way, it's a nice piece of fan art. I like fan art. I don't get a lot of it though because I don't know, why would I? I'm gonna try to encourage it more, but once I actually do like good content again. Well, do good content. I don't think any of my content is good anymore. It's just a natural way things go. You do stuff, time pass, you don't think it's as good anymore because you've gotten better. Do you think a zombie apocalypse is an actual possibility? Well, anything is a possibility, but I think the chance is very slim, because if there was an actual zombie outbreak, I just think that we would take care of it before it actually became an apocalypse. Because like the premise of pretty much every zombie apocalypse is that the military just is wiped out immediately, but yet these ordinary people somehow survived. No, the military would fuck them up before anything. Zombies are pretty weak too anyway. So I don't, yeah. I think it's a possibility, but it's not something we should really worry about, even if it was, even if like some kind of zombie virus was within the realms of possibility currently. I was thinking it would be kind of like, what was the disease? Come on, brain. I don't know, that like outbreak in America, or that disease, I don't remember what it was called anymore, and it was just everyone was freaking out, but then it was immediately shut down because it's fucking America, it's not a third world country. They know how to deal with it. Random question, do you have glasses? No, I don't. I think my vision might be not ideal anymore though, but I don't want glasses. Glasses are terrible. I think I have 2 friends with glasses. I know one has them, but I'm not sure about the other. Somebody did the science for it. The bodies would decompose after 3 months and no zombie virus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the part of, like a thing with zombies is like they kind of halt the decomposition, but yeah, I know a bit of decomposition. I actually studied it to write because I got a story about yeah, that's the short story I'm writing. It involves decomposition, so I studied that to kind of like accurately write about it. And yeah, first you got rigor mortis, which would kind of fuck them up immediately, and after that you got yeah, they would just collapse upon themselves. So I think you would have to worry about something else, like again, a mutant apocalypse, something like, not zombies. Zombies are probably not gonna do anything to us, even if they exist. I think it would be more like a danger to those who actually are zombies than the people who encounter them. How did you come up with your logo? Well, I mean, it's just my persona's face. If you mean like how I made it, then well, a friend of mine drew it for me. She draws things. I have 2 friends who draw things. I actually have 2 friends, and that's it. Do you think it's actually possible for people to have superpowers? That depends on how you define superpowers. I mean, there are some rare people who already have superpowers by some accounts. like blind. I know about a blind kid who like uses echo to see as in a way a superpower, like kind of a light daredevil. Which, I mean, obviously it's possible. Like you just either through genetics or through again machines. I mean, if we can create a laser gun, then why can't we create a guy who can shoot lasers out of his hands eventually? I don't think it's gonna be like a big priority though. Would be neat though. A human apocalypse. Oh no, look at that weird pinks of skin and sweatsuit. Well, I mean, a human apocalypse is definitely the most likely one. You know, World War III and whatever. What is your opinion on LGBT? I think you mean LGBTQ plus U for the... I think that it probably had like a purpose at some point, but now I just think it's, in some respects, it's mostly just kind of like a virtue signaling thing, and it's most of all it's being used to propel an agenda, which I really don't like. I also just think that it's preventing people who is supposed to be covered under it from being normal. Just stop like celebrating it or trying to make it special. Just stop just having gay pride festivals and just let gays be gays. Isn't that the goal? To just have them be accepted and just, I don't know. Because that's my reaction, like, oh, you're gay? Oh, okay. I don't want, like, I even know, like, some people who would fit into the LGBT label that just fucking hate the LGBT because it makes them out to be the special unicorn that makes people worry about them. Like, hey, oh, yeah, these people apparently need special treatment or they get really pissy and whatever. See, I overall don't like it at all. Definitely don't have anything against gay people or bi people or trans people or whatever though. Would you do more videos with Lawrence? I'm not sure yet. I like the idea of having the character, I just don't really know if I fit well in kind of a two-host format. So we'll see. We'll see if I find a valuable asset. You might gonna become something like what Paul is to Chris Reagan, where he just kind of exists, but he's not an active part of the channel. He's just kind of showing up for a cameo every now and then. I think I might keep him just for that. If you could be any mythical creature, what would you be? A god. I don't know. I mean, basically, if you ask me any such question, like any of these, like what would you wish for, what would you be, like what character would you be, like I just want to obtain power so I could do that again. Like, oh, if you could bring any fictional character to life, which one would it be? Oh, I would just one that could make me bring more fictional characters to life. Similar, like I see it all the time, like stuff with Dragon Ball Z, where they apparently just use the like super wishes to bring people back to life. Like, no, don't do that. Wish for a machine that brings people back to life, and you can do it every single time it happens. Something like that, you know. Don't wish for a fish. Ask for a fishing rod and a pond full of fish. Are you a legitimate communist? No. I don't really know where I would be in the like political spectrum. I don't really like those kind of labels. I just like to put my views out and let them represent my political position. But yeah, I know for a fact I'm not a communist. I don't believe in the communist system. It's kind of freaky that more and more people are like embracing communism, but I think it's more like a reaction to the hatred of capitalism. Because that's how humans work. They can't just stay healthily balanced. They gotta swing from one extreme to another. 17 people for 600,000k subs. Yeah, haven't you heard? Subs are meaningless now. As like if you look at most given channels with a lot of subs, they usually don't have as much views unless it's someone like that's recently got popular or if they're I don't know PewDiePie. But most of the time, like subscribers is not an accurate representation of a channel's popularity. You look at average views and stuff. Okay, fine, I'll do some chat moderation, I guess. Okay, put you on timeout. No. Do you have big dream? What does big dream mean? You even capitalize it, so I feel like it's a specific thing. So if you could specify Rodrigo. I think one thing that would be good for YouTube to add, but they never add anything good, so I don't think they will, is like a feature that, like if an account is not been in use for, I don't know, say a year, then they will be unsubscribed from all channels that they are currently subscribed to. And if they then log back in, no matter how long they were like inactive, then they will be automatically resubscribed to all their channels, because that way like people can keep track of how many subscribers they actually have. Because otherwise dead accounts will just be there and just make the numbers bloated. So I think that would be a good feature, just kind of like track how many people are still subscribers and not still active. Okay, so like a life. Okay, so you mean like that kind of big dreams sort of thing. My biggest wish is to become omnipotent. Like, not even necessarily just the omnipotent god of this world, but I would just like my own universe where I could do exactly whatever I want. Which is why I've tried to pursue lucid dreaming, because that's probably the closest I'm ever gonna get to that. But my more realistic goals include becoming a game developer, or well, just doing well on YouTube, or becoming a good author, a popular author. That is, you know, I just want to do something. I want to work within fiction, basically. I like the concept of lucid dreaming and things. Both because you can do pretty much anything you want, and also because I just find my dreams to be very interesting. I had one somewhat recently, a pretty terrible nightmare that had some really cerebral concept that still really sticks with me. I've been thinking about like basically the final part of one dream for a really long time now. And I'm just like, at some point I'm going to incorporate that in something I do. Whether it be a horror game or something, I want that in there. And I want to do other things like that, because I really fucking liked that one thing. Okay, have you ever watched South Park or Family Guy or other comedy cartoons? I used to watch The Simpsons a lot, then I stopped when I started watching TV. Family Guy I watched, but I don't like it. Like, today it's complete garbage, and before it was still a lot of shock value and not that funny, but it had good episodes. I liked it like in its prime, which I can't really define because I don't count those shows by seasons, but yeah. I don't like Family Guy at all, but I like part of it, and I haven't really watched much South Park. I watched the World of Warcraft episode that everyone's seen, but that's about the extent of it. Ooh, I also watched Rick and Morty. That's what I think I said before. Otherwise, I think I'm doing this thing where I don't use any social media for a month. Well, you already failed, because YouTube, I think, counts as social media. Okay, now I'm actually getting tired. I'm like feeling my speech more, and my eyes are getting heavy, so I guess this is working. Because it's not even 6 o'clock yet, and that's when I went to bed the last 2 days. think I'm gonna continue a little more though. So what games are you currently playing? I am playing Dark Souls 2, but I'm not really playing it that actively because, I don't know, I just don't have much motivation to do it, I don't have much motivation for anything. And I did play Stardew Valley today. I bought it on Steam. And yeah, I only played it today, as I said, so I'm not really sure what to make of it just yet. It did kind of disappoint me though, because it teased me with magic, and I thought that, oh wait, there's magic in this game? Can I do magic? No, you can't. You can't do magic. That made me sad. Go to sleep if you're tired though, man. It's good to listen to your body, especially since you said you're depressed, so physical relief can help mental relief, so yeah, I don't know. I'm being more abusive with myself sleep-wise because in about a week I will have to travel to a place, and there I know that my sleep is gonna get better. I sleep better there, and also, yeah, people make sure to force me out of bed. I'm being called daddy now. I don't really know what to think about that. Do you play any shooters, and which is your favorite? Asking the question all over again, but I never answered it. I don't know. I can't really think of any, so probably the answer is no, I don't play any shooters. I'm not really big on shooters, especially like modern times ones, stuff like Call of Duty and what's the other one called? I don't know. Stuff like that, like military games, I hate them. They're so bland. I want fantasy, sci-fi, or horror generally. With some exceptions, of course. Probably gonna wrap up this soon, but I don't know. I got this fucking song in my head. Do any of you people watch Sci-10? Probably don't. It's a relatively obscure channel, I'm pretty sure. It's fun though. Deliberately derailing this conversation. You're full of shit, I'm blocking you, spreading hate among my followers. I don't get it. How does the 3 questions keep coming up? Do you watch anime? What's your favorite video game? And what's your favorite food? That's what's on everyone's minds. I like drawing the dreams I have. It could make up a story one day, or maybe a game. Nightmares are more like motivation. Yeah, I actually have a game like in my head that's centered basically around my dreams, the more interesting ones, because sometimes, most of the time, like everyone, my dreams are pretty like random, just nonsensical, but sometimes they have an actual, I feel like they have something more behind them, and then that's when they get truly disturbing or comforting. Sometimes also it's a nice thing, but usually it's pretty fucked up. And yeah, like, I don't want to get into any kind of like new agey shaman type shit, but oh, you need to wake up in 3 hours, huh? Good luck with that, I feel, yeah. Bye. So what was I saying? Yeah, like, I don't believe in any new age shit, like the dreams is a portal to another world or some kind of shit like that, but I do believe that it is like, you are within your subconscious when you're dreaming, so you have direct access to your subconscious, which contains a lot of information about yourself you don't know, like, you know, memories you don't recall and aspects of yourself you aren't aware of. And I'm pretty sure, like, I have noticed like recurring characters in my dreams that have consistent purposes. I think I'm gonna make some videos about that at some point, just relating to dreams and stuff, because I think it's pretty interesting. But for that, I would like have to assemble enough material, because I sort of rarely have interesting dreams. So I kind of want to have enough material to make for a video that's not only interesting for me, because that's how dreams generally go. They're pretty lame to anyone who wasn't actually part of it. But yeah. I do think that some of it would be interesting even to someone who is an outsider on the matter. I find some other people's dreams interesting sometimes. One thing I've seen like a lot, apparently, from people who have, like, from people telling about their dreams, is that they have something preventing them from lucid dreams, like actual entities, that like once they lucid dream they start being pursued by something. I think I had that too, actually, in a very odd way, which I think would make for an interesting video on its own right. I'm talking about something that I think is pretty interesting and deep here, and people are just talking about Keemstar and consoles. That is kind of what I expected from this chat. Of course, I have gotten a lot of interesting conversation, I think. Would you make stuff from your dreams into a video? Yeah, as I said, I would like to make some videos about that. It's kind of like explaining how it works and stuff. No, not how it works, like just explaining dreams I've had and what like I think they mean and stuff. But as I said, it would have to be interesting for others too, which makes it a lot harder to find material. But some stuff is interesting, like recurring characters and stuff, which have a purpose and stuff. One of the this is gonna be a very obscure video. I think that nobody who watches this is gonna watch the videos on that. So I guess I could kind of give some spoilers, quote unquote. Like, one of the most prevalent characters in my dreams is the devil, which sounds pretty edgy, but he's actually a really nice guy in my dreams. And he also always has the consistent purpose of having some kind of vague lesson behind what he does. I've actually gotten some interesting life lessons from him, which is kind of weird. Getting life lessons from yourself. But it is pretty cool. Like, some dream characters are, like, most of them are just random, you know, people who only exist to be part of a random experience. But then there are those that are aware they are in a dream, or like have cross-dream awareness. And he's one of those. He has referenced other dreams, and he has, like, you know, he's also said that he knows stuff about me that I don't. No, that's not how he said it. He said that he's like always watching me from behind, which makes a lot of sense because he is in my brain, which is behind my eyes. And he can, like, any information about me that the dream wants to imbue him with, he has it. So he is right, he's always watching me, which is kind of creepy when you think about it, even though it means pretty much nothing. It's just a fun thought. Then I also have Kelly. Fucking Kelly. I really want another dream with her. I haven't seen her since that one dream. I don't remember her last name. My neck is aching from being close to the mic. I should move my chair down to be more on mic level, but nah. Hunchback, that's all the way. I don't know what happened to the chat. It was actually like a somewhat intelligent conversations going on, and now I don't know. You're disappointing me, chat. I guess it's a sign that I should wrap this up soon. Yeah, I'm drinking water. Do you think dreams could possibly be something you might encounter later on? That sometimes happens when I'm awake. I usually see parts of videos and I get weird things when it happens. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to believe that dreams can predict the future. I don't think that there's such a thing as a linear future, you know? So, yeah. But I know about a phenomenon that like makes you think that, like the whole deja vu scientific explanation. But yeah, I do think that I do kind of have this part of me that wants to believe there's something supernatural about dreams, because I have a friend who has had dreams that are very, very accurate to events that would happen years later. Not really accurate in that they were just like they happened, but more like they predicted things that had not happened yet, like in general, only in a very different context. Like say for instance that I don't know what a good thing would be, but yeah, I don't think there's a reason to believe that dreams can predict the future, but part of me wants to think there might be something supernatural about dreams, but that's mostly just the idealistic part of me that just really wants it to be something magical about this world. How would your universe be like? It would be very varied. I have a lot of different universes in mind that I would like to inhabit, like scenarios I would like to be in, characters I would like to create and interact with. So it will probably just be a whole shitload of overlapping universes that I just shift between whenever I want. Definitely some very sexual ones. That's a big motivation for people to lucid dream, so they can have dream sex with their waifus. Not gonna lie, that's part of the appeal for me too. Part of it. This chat has definitely gone to the deep end. Yeah, it definitely has. At least you're still here. You've been saying smart stuff. I'm gonna try to remember you. I like kind of sort of gradually remember people who are in the chat frequently and say stuff I like. So I'm just gonna try to keep in mind you and the guy who left, and probably some other that I'm forgetting already. I'm gonna have to set an artificial limit to this stream, because otherwise I'm just gonna go on until I fall asleep right here. So I don't know, we might go on for, let's say 10 more minutes. Unless 10 minutes or less. Okay, are you a vegan? I guess that means vegan. Is that what it's supposed to be, vegan? Yeah. If so, no. I love meat too much. So I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian. I just eat anything I like, no matter how unhealthy it is or what kind of horrible things that food has gone through. No, virgin. Wait, virgin, is that what you mean? Virgin? Because if so, then yeah. I have never been inside a pussy. Where's my dick? Would you do animations for different games? I don't think so. If I would, it would be more of a one-off thing, but I would prefer to do my completely original things other than like relying on the popularity of something else. Are you feeling better? Depends on when you last checked on me. I'm in a bit of a down right now. Like, there's a reason I can't sleep, so to say. Things have just not been going right for the last few days. And I really don't know, I just... I want things to go right. Could a person be friends with an insane person? Well, of course, if they're the type of insane that allows for it. Some insane people can't really interact with people at all. Some are like very hostile, and some are fine. So I think it's possible. Depends on the kind of insanity. It's a pretty broad term. Could mean anything from yeah, I'm casually visited by a rainbow alien to I want to kill everyone around me and eat their flesh and jerk off on their corpses. Whenever someone says a person, it makes it highlighted for me. I should really change my name. Isn't that why people pick that kind of name? You know, like in competitive games, would you name yourself something like an innocent bystander, and it's like LOL Killer 69 killed an innocent bystander? I like this exchange here. If someone was insane, would they hurt their friends? Too vague when you say insane. Okay, crazy. Good, replace it with a vague term. That's funny to me. Joking at people's expense. No. At this point I've forgotten what I've been waiting for since I just saw the live stream and joined. I'm assuming you were waiting for my Minecraft animations like everyone else. I'm not doing them anymore though. Even if I not stop being depressed, I'm probably gonna... I'm not gonna do those anymore. So if you want to stick around for the stuff I do have planned once I get out of my depression, then I'm happy about that. If you don't, I understand. You're tired. Yes, very. And you are misusing... You're using the wrong type of your. Grammar, people, it's not hard. I am a grammar Nazi. Proud of it too. Okay, person asking for 9 plus 10. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop because it's getting annoying. You're depressed? Why exactly? I've detailed it several times, including in the stream, so I don't feel like doing it. But yeah, basically I want to do other stuff. I push myself too hard in general, a lot of different factors, and it just happened. And it's been going on for a while. Is it 2 years now? I know it's over a year. Yeah. You should make your own fully animated series with a different kind of story, perhaps. You would be making your own franchise while still doing it. Yeah, I would love to do that. The thing is that it's just not really within the realms of possibility. First of all, I would need way more animation skill than I currently have. I would also need a shitload of time, probably more animators and voice actors and you know, that kind of shit. It would be a much bigger project and I just don't think I could do that on my own. But I have several animated series in mind. One sci-fi one more kind of like fantasy type thing, basically. Several fantasy ones, actually. Where did you get the name from? Very uncreative, mixing my name with Minecraft. You get Willcraft. Because Will. I decided to keep the name though because I found a new meaning for it, because I am a big Lovecraft fanboy. So I thought that, hey, Lovecraft, Willcraft, both words of abstract concepts relating to feeling, both craft, you know, still works. And yeah, as a person says, everyone handles depression differently. People have gradually, people have different reasons for depression, people have differently severe depression, and people have different cures for depression. I still don't know what my cure is. I only know what kind of helps with it. Because I'm still in it. If I knew the cure, I wouldn't be depressed anymore. I thought it stood for something like I will craft, like you're crafting your own world. Yeah, I just think that like the reason I kept it is simply because it has so many different meanings. So I'm just gonna like try to ignore the original meaning and just stick to the better ones, like that one and the one I mentioned. Which is simply, oh, my name plus Minecraft, that's not very good. Okay, I'm gonna end this in about 3 minutes now. So if anyone has anything super interesting to say, then do so now. Perhaps you could use the animation tool to set up pictures and go along with the stories you have planned. You just nag back and forth. Oh, I mean one of those things where you just basically have a storyboard kind of series. Now the ones I have planned don't really work in that format. As one kind of video I have planned though, kind of doing those, you know, like semi-animated story type videos. Of course I can't draw for shit, so I would ask my friends to do so because they draw. I don't know. I do have some interesting stories to tell in my cynical ass tone. Bro, make some dank memes. Shadowlay, dun 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 Shadowlay. I don't know. I'm too tired to make dank memes. I'm not much of a dank memer anyway. Could blood be a food dye in a different world? I don't think it's a very good dye, just because of how it, like, you know, it smells pretty strongly and it dries up and it just gets pretty nasty after a while. It's just not a very permanent, not pleasant color. I don't think it's a very dye good. I don't think it's very optimal for dye. Yeah, I think that if I was gonna do one of my animated shows, I would actually like have the resources to do so, so it would be far into the future probably. Well, you can't just sit there and do nothing while those people are copying you. Yes, I can, because there's literally nothing I can do. It's just how YouTube works. I won't end on that note though. Quickly say something good to end on. I just stop touching myself when I'm doing this. It makes an annoying sound. And yes, I mean scratching myself on something else. Yeah. Okay, yeah, now the shadow is just evolving entirely, so Do you have, oh, here's one. Do you have a lot of panic attacks? I haven't had a panic attack in a long ass time. One thing I do have though is like anger attacks. I just get really fucking bitter and sarcastic and overall nasty and lash out against my friends. So yeah, that's something I do. My last panic attack was shortly like it was relating to when my channel just came to an end. So yeah, I haven't had one of those. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this up. I'm gonna try to actually make a video soon. That's not a stream, but I don't know. Fuck, I'm tired. That's a good thing though, because it's almost 6 o'clock now. Probably gonna have about 6 hours of sleep, and that's just still sleeping again until 12. I don't remember last time I had breakfast actually. So yeah, I've already gone almost 2 minutes over the limit I set for myself, so good night people. Or if it's not night for you, then I guess not good night, but I'm good nighting myself. Bye.